For 50 years, the Transamerica Pyramid has really defined the skyline of San Francisco.
Now its new owners are hoping a massive redevelopment of the block it sits on will redefine the city's downtown.
You have to believe, and I'm a big believer in the city, and I don't just talk about it, I have $1 billion invested behind my belief.
Putting your money where your mouth is. ABC 7 News insider Phil Mateer got a first look inside the building and talked with the building's owner about the future of the financial district. Phil, this guy has big plans.
Yeah, his name's Michael Shivo, and he has big plans, not just for himself, but also for the entire city. Because, you know, building a better Bay Area sometimes means taking big risks. And this is one guy that's hoping that his billion-dollar investment in the heart of San Francisco will encourage workers to return to the entire downtown San Francisco. Let's take a look. Why would you sink $1 billion into office space in a city that's got a 30% vacancy rate?
It's a great question. So, you know, when I came to see this building for the first time to buy it, I walked around that corner, looked up to the building, and I told my team, we have to buy this building. It's the fact that this is the symbol of San Francisco, no different than the cable cars or the Golden Gate Bridge. This building and our investment here, we have $1 billion invested here, is going to rejuvenate this entire neighborhood. You are in the center, we call it the Pyramid District now, because you're in the center of these 4 or 5 amazing neighborhoods that all collide over here. You know, my dream and my vision from 3 years ago when we bought the building now came to fruition, not only because what we've done here with the building, which you're the first one to see it, but also from the tenants that came here.
The gamble. I mean, with 1/3 vacancy rate and all these projections we're seeing about, you know, will work come back? Will the offices come back? You think you're going to be able to lease the place out?
Well, look, we've signed multiple leases. Give it some stats. When I bought the building, the rents here were between $60 to $100 a foot. We've signed leases between $100 to $275 a foot.
So you're actually asking more?
More than twice what it was before COVID. We can't look at all office being equal. There's office that has to be demolished. There's plenty of buildings that I can walk you outside here, and in every city, in New York, in Chicago, in Miami, that just have to go because they're not relevant anymore for the future of how people work. The idea with this building and with other buildings that we own, because we only operate in the trophy-esque market.
Chicago, Miami, New York, Beverly Hills.
Correct. What you're seeing today, and mostly after COVID also, is this huge flight to quality, right? Tenants want the best product. Money's not an issue. We're talking today, the stock market today is an all-time high. There's no issue with the economy of this country. The issue is that finally people understood that their office experience shouldn't be worse than their home experience. What we've done is we've created an experience here, and in any other building that we've developed or that we remastered, the idea is that the hospitality level of experience in an office building should be at the highest level. We have to earn the commute. You ask about the future of office. People have to have a reason to come to work.
Right now, employers are having a tough time getting their workers back 3 days a week. Is that how you're banking on this, that people would come in 3 days a week? Or
first thing, I disagree with that statement, because we're seeing in our buildings in Chicago, New York, and here that employers, or most employers, are bringing people back 5 days a week. That's not the idea of, and I've always been, you know, from the beginning of COVID, I've said that the idea of work from home is not sustainable. It was a moment in time, and there's been huge transformation since. Goldman Sachs, Apple, Facebook, everybody brought employees back 5 days a week. Finally, they understood that collaboration cannot be done in your pajamas, sitting in your kitchen on a Zoom. It's just not feasible. People are meant to be together and to work together. But what are we doing here? What are we doing in our other office buildings? We're giving employers tools to lure people back to work. We got a private redwood park in the middle of San Francisco, something that nobody else has, right? Even in my building in New York, while I have buildings that are on Fifth Avenue that are overlooking the park, everything you see here is all going to be restaurants, coffee shops, souvenir shops, everything
and
all
you
around the park.
bought these 2 buildings too, right?
I own the entire block.
Okay, what do you see as the future of office work? What kind of people are going to be in offices? Is it going to be tech? Is it going to be artificial intelligence? Or is it going to be the more financial groups, hedge funds? What's the future of American offices in downtown cities?
So let's talk about San Francisco specific, because each city truly has its own kind of unique aspect. I'll tell you who we're leasing space to. We're leasing space to, you know, VCs, you know, the
Venture
higher end
capital.
venture capital companies that are at the top of their market, right? Leaders of the industry, financial companies, if it's hedge funds or private equity, and that's at the pyramid. Into Transamerica, you're seeing more of the kind of late stage startups. So we're getting a variety of tenants, but what's connecting everybody is they're looking for the next generation of office space. They're looking for office space of the future, not the relics, as you said. And that's when you talk about the 30% or 40% vacancies, those happen in buildings that are just not relevant. To have a building with 8-foot ceiling and small windows, there's no reason for anybody to go to work.
You got the people on the street. You walk down the streets here, you see tents. What kind of
Well,
impact is that?
I haven't seen tents down here, and I haven't seen actually the homeless here. Interesting. So I live in New York. I come here every 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the month. And I've never seen San Francisco so busy as I've seen it this week when I've been visiting here. You're seeing the energy back on the street. You're seeing people back. You're seeing people back at the office. Even here, because we monitor occupancy. We're at an all-time peak as far as tenants bringing people back to work.
So you don't buy the doom loop of San Francisco?
There is no doom loop. There is no doom loop. Writing off San Francisco is not something I would do anytime soon because, like I said, it's an attractive city. The people are great. The food is great. It's a beautiful city. And it's been through a lot. I mean, it's been through fires, through earthquakes. It's always survived. And you know, I have a privilege and I have a great advantage over you. I'm not from San Francisco. So I can see the beauty of San Francisco because, you know, you guys are all so self-critical about every single thing. But when you come from the outside and you see the beauty of the city, you see the people, you experience the food, it's a marvelous place. And I have the ability and the advantage of operating in all these different markets. San Francisco is one of my favorite cities in America. I've invested $1 billion here. And I can tell you that I've always been positive. And I've said to you, faith is something that you always need to have. Not just when times are good, when times are tough, when things happen, you have to believe. And I'm a big believer in the city, and I don't just talk about it, I have $1 billion invested behind my belief.
Well, the developer tells us that the newly renovated Pyramid will create about 7,000 jobs in San Francisco and generate $2.5 billion annually in revenue for the city.
Which
so
is
it's
great.
betting big and it's going big. Now, part of that is going to be the sales. And this guy is a salesman, if nothing else. He is a salesman.
He thinks big. He's got swagger. I mean,
He's got swagger. If he wasn't doing this, he could be in Hollywood, okay? Okay. So, but he is out there, and he's trying to, the idea is this. You know, there was a time when that area with the Transamerica Tower was at the heart of San Francisco's financial district.
And it's Skyline, too.
Right.
Yes.
But that's when we were a financial center. When we became a tech center, we moved south the market.
Right.
He's trying to bring it back.
Good point.
Saying, okay, it's retro, it's whatever like that. Maybe it'll work.
But
What
if
kind
it
of
works,
tenants are we looking like? We're looking at it.
You know
for
what?
this.
What do you think? I mean, not exactly nonprofits and charities.
Right.
No, he wants high-end lawyers, tech, AI, financial, hedge funds. In other words, people that can afford the rent.
Yes.
But he says
and who want to
that-
be in a prestigious address.
Yes,
like
but the idea is if you get them, then others will follow to be around them.
Yeah.
Let's hope it works.
We have Silicon Valley. Now we'll have the Transamerica Tower.
Again.
Again.
Thank you, Phil.